The earpieces.
No, go ahead. We can start the show off like that. You said, what's going on with the Logitech? Let's do a little critic review.
We need a bigger operating budget, people. My shit is falling apart. And see, Chris, he's working with something fancier than me because I don't even see anything on his head. He's got that Connect shit going on over there.
Well, it's called heredity. You know, I lost it.
Look at it. Look at it. I have a cord.
Well, I have my microphone and everything. It's just that I switched to the microphone on my laptop. So, I mean, all that out the way. So,
show us the money.
This is how you know that we haven't done this in a while. So we're like, hey guys, this is Chris and Sean talking through the media. and we're back, right? So we've been here for a while, and we've just been we've been totally dropping the ball, just playing too much Black Ops, and
we said this very same line the last episode about how we were being horribly about not doing it, and so this is us saying that again.
We kept consistent on it though.
Yeah, we're consistently being inconsistent.
Yeah, exactly, and I think our fans appreciate that. You know, at least they're honest. So that's a funny thing. So I guess with all the things in the world, I mean, we wouldn't be talking to the media as if we weren't honest and talking about everything that's going on in the media. So just briefly, I guess we can talk about what's going on. What currently, I know, Sean, you don't know that much about, you don't keep up with that much on politics, but what's currently going on in the world of politics is Trump still dominating. He's still huge.
He's huge.
Still huge. And no matter how small his hands are, he's still huge. And so is Hillary, still winning. She just won today. She won a couple of states. She's still beating her opponent Sanders by double dildo damage, and so is Trump. Little Marco just
little Rubio
just dropped out because he lost his home state. So yeah.
He did? He lost his home state?
He lost his own state of Florida. So far, all the major contestants won their own state except for...
I was going to ask you again, guys, because Chris pointed out, I'm not stupid, but I don't follow politics. I just, I know that sounds ignorant as hell. I just don't normally follow politics. It sounds to me...
the controlled substances will get his vote.
Yeah, that's right. That's what I know about Bernie. He wants to legalize weed. I'm like, oh, cool. I'll vote for him, But anyway,
that makes going to the movies more fun. So.
Yeah. But so I got to ask you a question because you just brought something up that maybe some other people thought about, and it just struck me right when you said it. Mm-hmm. Is it normal for a candidate to lose their own state?
Not normal. If you can't win the state that you've been governing in, if you're a governor or senator, these are your neighbors and your friends. You can't convince them to vote for you. How are we going to get the country to? So that's
right.
How it looks. So if you can't win your own state, it's like, I think you better get out of here because you're in the way.
Yeah.
That's usually what happens. A person loses their own state, they even if they're losing, they'll be like, well, when we get to my state, I'll show you. And that's what a lot of people are. There's people. He dropped out because he lost his own state. But another guy who he had way more points than, a guy named Kasich, just won his home state but has half the points than Rubio did. But it doesn't matter. You lost your own state. That's not good down the road. So get out of here. So that's what's going on now. I know we're not going to bore you too much about the politics. I mean, you're either going to feel the burn, you're either going to go with Hillary, or you're going to go with Trump, because that's honestly really your only real options. Everybody else is just wasting their time.
So basically, Trump is ahead of everybody?
In the Republican side.
Okay.
Right now it's split in the middle. It's the Republicans are doing their little race and the Democrats are doing their race, and then whoever wins out of that will go head-to-head in the finals.
So, non-political question in a political question. Who do you think is going to win? I mean, who do you think is going to be the president of the United States?
It's either going to be a Republican or a Democrat. I guarantee it.
Really? Now, people, I'm not going to lie to you. If you told me that you would give me $500 to explain to you the difference between a Democrat and a Republican, I don't fucking know.
Oh man, don't open that Pandora's box. You're gonna get a bunch of Republicans chiming in. Like, I'm gonna tell you exactly what that is.
Bring it on, dude. You can decimate me politically, whatever.
No, I'm not decimating you. I'm just saying. Oh. You want a Democrat's gonna chime in and be like, oh, let me tell you exactly what the Republicans are all about. Like, you don't want that. That's gonna go on forever.
It just seems to me, and I've watched some stuff and read some stuff. It just seems like the entire thing is so complicated. It's hard for me, with my limited knowledge of this stuff, to really get an basic understanding of what exactly they plan to do, or realistically how they plan to do it. I just,
and my characteristics of you, I would just basically call you an independent. You're in the middle because you're pro gun and you're pro recreation. So I mean, that's pretty much two big issues.
I'm a pro me doing what the hell I want, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. You're just Sean. So I would just call you. You just call you an independent. You can go one way or the other. Yeah. Just call you. Yeah, we're all independent.
I'll say this. I do hope that whoever obviously gets elected, that they can do everything within their power to make this place better. That's all I can say. I don't really know. But anyway, on to some topics that I can actually give feedback on.
Let's talk about some stuff that's actually making a difference right now. Let's move on to the next topic. We're going to talk about Disney just announced that Indiana Jones 5 is coming. At first, the people were wondering about whether or not to just reboot it and recast. But I think what's going to happen is they're gonna like pass the torch. I think Harrison Ford he's gonna be too old to do anything physical, really. But maybe he'll talk about some adventures that he had maybe he'll be on a little mini micro adventure, and then he's gonna talk about some stuff he did that we didn't see during his prime, and then that'll be the new Indiana Jones that we'll see. Maybe it'll be Chris Pratt or who else was in the running.
The main one was Chris Pratt. Back in the day, Shia LaBeouf they were considering it.
They're dropping that.
Right, Ryan Reynolds was discussed about it, and at first when I was like, what? But then I started really thinking about it, and I was like, maybe.
Well, with everything that's going on with Deadpool now, I'm sure he's back in the talks at least. Right.
You're just so used to him being like such a smart ass, like constantly. Like, you can imagine that he would be such an asshole in high school to try to. I mean, it's like,
I don't know, man. I liked him, and I always go back to Smoking Aces his performance in that movie that he did with that other movie that he did with what was it, Safe House with Denzel Washington. He can be serious.
Safe House.
Safe House. You ever seen that?
What? Yeah, but I don't remember. I'll have to go back and watch that again.
So he can pull off serious, and that fine line between an asshole and very serious. But he comes off as an asshole so well. So it's just
that's like when I saw him in Deadpool, it was like this
perfect
was written for him. I mean, like, that was just like the embodiment of. I mean, he wasn't even being a superhero. That was Ryan Reynolds in a costume. He is Deadpool
with superpowers.
Right.
I think, but that's honest. What do you think? What do you think that they're gonna do as far as like the story? Like, do you think they're gonna throw Harrison Ford into another like old Nazis are just gonna start jumping out of the woodworks?
Well, I'll tell you what I think, and I'll tell you what I think should, and then I'll tell you what I've read. I think that they're gonna come to a compromise. I don't think that they're going to remove Harrison Ford from the Indy series because it's just.
It's official.
He's going to be in it. They couldn't do it without him because what I think should happen is that yes, they should pass it. And in my brain, I always thought that it should either be Chris Pratt or Bradley Cooper.
Bradley Cooper. That's the other thing I was thinking about.
Yeah, to be the new Indiana Jones.
Mm-hmm.
I honestly think that Chris Pratt fits it a little better. But the good thing is that both of them can act, and both of them are funny, and both of them had the ruggish good looks that that everybody has come to. Indiana Jones. You know, like he's good at action. He's funny. That's the good thing everybody liked about the Indiana Jones movies. They weren't just like one thing. Like great action, great humor. I mean, they were really funny when you sit back, especially now if you watch them. Like remember in the Last Crusade when they're on the Zeppelin, and no ticket.
That subtle little line. Everybody's like, oh, oh.
Yeah. What I think they should do is definitely pass the torch. I hate to say it because I love Indiana Jones, but you are right, Chris. He's just gotten to the point to where to be a real, you know, like a real Indiana Jones, you just can't physically do that stuff with him. Now, another alternative, and I don't know if I'm convinced on this just yet. Maybe in another 15 years to be able to do this. Think about this. Think about and I read an article about this the other day. I think it was why our action stars are no longer bankable. And it was talking about how Van Damme and Arnold Schwarzenegger and Sylvester Stallone, they don't get the money.
The days of the name of the superstar guaranteeing you $100 million on the opening weekend is gone. Like
right.
People want to see a good story now. They don't care if Will Smith's starring in it. They want to see a good movie.
Right.
Those days are gone.
What would be interesting is if one day when the special effects get so good that we can start making movies with whatever movie star we want.
You mean with motion capture and just recreate them from scratch?
Right. You can make a young Arnold Schwarzenegger. You can make a young, put whatever movie star you want in there.
You know what? It's interesting that you just brought that up because he was just in an interview talking about the same subject with the guy, the king of the motion capture. What's his name?
The guy from the Lord of the Rings and King. I forget his name, but yeah, he's really good at that.
Oh, well, anyway, we all know what we're talking about. Oh God. Yeah. It's gonna kill me. He was in an interview and they asked him that I was made fun of today about saying asked. All right, okay, guys. No, I'm black, so okay. So they asked him a question about that same subject, and they said, "How long are we away from having you doing a motion capture of a young Bruce Willis to do the next Die Hard?"
Right. Yeah.
Look real. And he said that we're not. He honestly said we're not there yet, but we're very close. It might not even happen in the times when he's still doing it. It might be his protege or the next big guy that's the next great guy that's doing the motion capture, whoever that big name is going to be in the future. But he says we're close. Maybe. I don't know how long. If I'm hoping that he meant like within the next 5 years. Me personally, I don't see it for the next 15. I don't know, but I could be wrong.
I'd say between 15 and 20 years until you will not be able to, from the blind eye, tell if you were watching something that's photo realistic graphics or if it's on film.
I think it was John Campea, and everybody knows I'm a big John Campea fan. That I think it was one of his episodes where he said he explained it really good. He said that the human eye, since we interact with humans every day, that the second we see an animated human in front of or next to a real human, our eye, it just throws us off so hard that we can instantly tell, oh, that's fake. That looks fake. It feels fake. Just something is not right in the room. Because we're looking at humans all day, the light's not bouncing off of them right. The shadow doesn't look great. He's blinky, looks like a robot. You remember how Professor X on X-Men 3, how he just had to stand still the whole time and just not move that much? And it's like, she's very impressive, Charles. And it looked weird. But not Bruce Willis, Michael Douglas in the Ant-Man movie. That was Michael Douglas, and they touched up his face to make him look young again.
Right.
It wasn't perfect, but it was way better than what they did on the X-Men movie. So we're getting there. So I'm thinking the days where we can have the actual person just touch up the wrinkles and stuff. I think we're kind of there already, but from scratch, having another actor playing some guy who like died years ago and make it look real, I think we're like 15, 20 years away.
It would still be cool though, wouldn't it?
If that day, I wish that day was today, because you could have movies you could have Bruce Lee versus, what was that chart where all of the legends that have died recently? You could have Bruce Lee and Brandon Lee in a movie together.
Right.
Stuff
Yeah.
like that would be crazy. But then the whole argument about like the rights, the families, does the family want to see their loved ones coming back on the screen like that? Like Bruce would never do that and all that stuff.
Yeah.
You,
Well,
you're getting all that
people
stuff.
would be very black or white about it.
Yeah.
They'd be like, "Oh yeah," or "No."
You would
So
have to like go to Hollywood and like write a letter, and you will like I bequeath my fortune to my children.
my what is it? I allow my likeness.
Not likeness to be used, just like Tupac was on that concert with the hologram. Only if the movie is directed by Martin Scorsese or something like that. So it would be something weird like that. But shit, I don't know. I think that'd be cool. But if that happens, though, going back to Indiana Jones, do you think that instead of Bradley Cooper, like if let's say the technology was here today, do you think it's better to just recast or to have a motion capture guy? If Harrison Ford is alive, he says, "I give you the permission. Go ahead, use my likeness. That's your character."
I want to see Harrison Ford as Indiana Jones.
You would rather see a motion capture guy dressed up like Indiana Jones did. I mean, like Harrison Ford digitally, as long as it looked real, right? Okay.
Yeah, I'm conflicted though. Like part of me, the initial is like, yeah, I want to see Harrison Ford, but the other part of me is like, that's what I've been seeing before. Maybe we'll see something different.
Yeah. I mean, because you don't ever want. I would probably lean towards recasting because you're never gonna get that magic again, but you might get something that you like also. Like if I use The Departed as an example, people don't realize that The Departed was a remake from an old movie. Or Scarface, the one that with Al Pacino, was a remake.
Yeah, that was an old movie.
Yeah, it was a remake from an old gangster movie from a long time ago. So you might get something good with a remake or a reboot. So
who do you think, Chris Pratt or Bradley Cooper?
I'm leaning toward. I like them both. I won't be mad if either or got it, but I'm leaning towards. It sounds like politics right now. I'm leaning towards Cooper. I'm more Cooper because I see that 5 o'clock shadow and the hat. I see it on Cooper.
Yeah, with the fedora.
I mean, Pratt is in shape now, but I think
he's a bigger. Cooper is like. Well, actually, no.
Right there.
Dudes are pretty big now. Actually.
Yeah, Cooper has gotten bigger, but physically, I think he's been in line with what Harrison Ford was all those times. Even though he wasn't like a big buff guy, but he's closer.
He got big for American Sniper. He got really big.
Oh yeah, you're right about that. But I've seen him recently on his TV show that he produces, Limitless. And he's trimmed.
Yeah. I think that nothing against Chris Pratt. I think Bradley Cooper is a better actor.
Yeah, I agree. Nothing against. Yeah, it's just that I think because Cooper's had a chance to do more dramatic stuff.
Right.
And
not saying that. Right. Not saying that Pratt will never be as good or if not better, but right now I think that Cooper is more seasoned and a better dramatic actor. I love it. Real quick, guys, if you guys ever get a chance, look up Bradley Cooper impersonating Christopher Walken. That is hilarious.
You told me about that. I still have to look that up.
It's hilarious.
I'll look it up. All right. So moving on to the next topic, me and Sean had
yes.
We were going to get into a huge debate. Maybe we're about to start fighting. We don't even know. We could tell. And you know what? And Sean, before I even started talking about it, he knew where the direction I was going. And he stopped me and said, "Chris, we're going to talk about this online." So we started a conversation about what's going to make more money or what's going to have the bigger impact, Captain America Civil War or Batman versus Superman. Now, we didn't get into it at all, so I don't know what Sean's answer is going to be. So I'm going to pass it on to you. What is your thoughts on the subject line, and what do you think is the result?
Okay, so normally I would just right out of the chute say, without getting into details, I'll do that here in a minute, but I'd just be like, oh, of course, Batman, Superman. That's going to make way more money than a Captain America movie. But what? You look at these trailers now, and I don't see a Captain America. Okay, this Captain America movie. I watched those trailers, Chris. I didn't just see a Captain America movie. It was like I was watching Avengers 3.5 or something.
That's what everybody's calling it. The Avengers 3.5.
Yeah, it's like it didn't come off to me like a Captain America movie. So, right, just from that initial, holy crap, this is like Avengers, you know this movie is going to make some money. I don't recall seeing the Hulk at all in there, and I guess
No,
he's
he's not even. The Hulk and Thor are not in Captain America 3
right, you know. But
because they're going to be on their little adventure on Thor Ragnarok.
but just the fact that Spider-Man, the new Spider-Man, is going to be in Captain America, we're going to see huge take-ins at the box office. But on the other side, we have Batman and Superman, and
And you know what? And usually that should be the end of the conversation.
right. I mean, damn, and a new Batman. So that right there, and it's Ben Affleck. So you either really want to see this, or you are absolutely going to avoid the box office.
Hmm.
I honestly don't know. I think it's like if you had asked me this question 6 months ago, before I seen any trailer, or months ago, whatever, I would have just said Batman versus Superman. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
What do you think? Who do you think? Who do you predict to make more money? I'll tell you what I think here in a second.
It's gonna be Batman versus Superman, but I mean financially,
All right.
it's gonna be Batman versus Superman only because of a couple things. It's still true. It was when the first trailer came out, and to today, it's still the truth. We've never seen Batman and Superman fight each other on screen before. It's happened. You know, they've never been put together in a major movie before, and people have been dying for that for like 30, 40 years. Batman is the most profitable character in comic book movie history.
Is he?
I heard yesterday that all of the Batman movies are in the top 5 of the most profitable franchises of all time. Batman is like in the top 5. I don't know where he is, but he's in the top 5. Superman isn't even in the top 20. But
really?
Superman is the most recognizable, iconic superhero of all time. He is
right.
the epitome of a superhero. So DC has that to work with. DC has the 2 most marketable, popular, and iconic characters with Batman and Superman, and with Wonder Woman, if you want to throw that in there too. Then these Marvel trailers just started getting better and better, and started making me go, "Oh, what's gonna happen?" Because at first I thought, "Yeah, there's no way. Financially, they're both gonna make a killing." Fans, especially Marvel fanboys, they trust Marvel. They've had a few hiccups, but they haven't really let you down on the path that they're going. The controversy with Man of Steel, now to their second attempt for DC's first attempt to a cinematic universe, it kind of got off to a controversial start, even though Man of Steel was profitable. Batman v Superman's gonna make a killing, but then the whole thing with Ben Affleck and then fans kind of getting over that, now they're trusting it. I think fans are gonna still be a little gun shy about it, but they're still gonna. There are a lot of people saying, "I'm not gonna see this movie." They're lying. They're lying.
Right. Yeah.
Come on, man. So financially, Batman vs Superman is gonna make more money. Which one will be the better movie? I don't know. I'm leaning towards Captain America, and I've heard the thing that you're worried about, it being Avengers 2.5. Kevin Feige, I think, was the one who came out and said, "No, think again," because just like how we thought, how are these 2 comedic directors and film writers gonna do Captain America 2 in these Avenger movies? What do they know about action? And then they gave us one of the best Captain America or Marvel movies we've ever had with Winter Soldier, and they're doing this one too. They I forgot those guys' names, those 2 guys that are directing, but them and Kevin Feige, they said that no, this is a Captain America movie. Trust me, yeah, you got all these guys in the movie, but it's gonna be centered around Captain America. Jack, trust me, you will not think that this is Avengers 2.5 after when you see what we do. So I trust them. So with that, and the fact that Winter Soldier was great, I'm now thinking. At first, I was thinking that Batman versus Superman was going to financially blow them out of the water, but now I'm thinking it's only going to be by maybe a couple million. At the end of the day, worldwide box office, I'm thinking less than $50 million difference.
I think that there's three things that this movie is going to potentially cause big problems for Batman, not in a competitive manner. Batman versus Superman. One, the obvious from the trailers, we are going to see a fight between Captain America and Iron Man. Two,
Right.
we get to see the on-screen iteration of Black Panther, which I can't see. I can't wait to see that.
Yeah, a lot of firsts on this movie. Yeah.
And the new Spider-Man.
The fact that they went with the 1960s mask with the big thick rim, and the fact that they moved now.
Right. Yeah. Hey guys.
I'm thinking I'm a fit just based on what we saw with that trailer. To me, this is going to be the best. And I loved the Amazing Spider-Man 2 costume. That became my favorite costume, but and I still kind of think the mask is better than the new one. But the fact that they went nostalgic, they went old school, and then they moved like Deadpool, this is probably going to become my favorite Spider-Man costume because
Chris geeked out when he saw Spider-Man.
I think I said that online in my little video that I did. But what made me happy was it put to bed that whole thing. Now that we because Amazing Spider-Man, they tried to justify the costume. Like, look at Tobey Maguire. The dude doesn't have any money. How the hell was he able to make $1 million suit like that? That shit was amazing. How did he make that suit? But then with Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man, it was like he was wearing like a little hoodie and a little kind of a cheap mask, and it kind of made it make more sense that he kind of little by little made this costume better and better and better. With this Spider-Man, it answered it immediately. You can tell that Iron Man made that suit because he was working with Iron Man. He calls him Underoos. He comes out, and all of a sudden that costume is all like metallic,
symbiotic.
Yeah, exactly, and so Tony made that suit. That it just instantly answers that question. The webbing, all that stuff. Tony did it, and that's it. And we're just going to take that and we're going to move forward. And so that eliminates if that Spider-Man suit like starts morphing into water or liquid metal, Tony did it. So and it immediately eliminates. So now they can do anything with that suit. So I like that.
You know, we get a Venom movie now. I forgot to tell you guys that.
Yeah.
I was just reading about that. We have a new Venom movie coming, which to me, I always thought Venom was like the coolest villain. And people like Doc Ock, and all that. Green Goblin, no, man, Venom was awesome. And even though Topher kind of choked a little bit as Venom, I think if he
was just miscast, just like Kirsten Dunst.
Yeah, that's what I said. Choked a little bit on that. I think that if we get the right person as Venom, it's going to be sick. It's going to be sweet.
Somebody big, buff, the way Eddie Brock is supposed to be. That's what I'm worried about. So if that movie's not going to have any Spider-Man in it, then I don't know if I like the storyline, because I like the fact that the suit finds Spider-Man first, then he takes it off, he goes to Eddie Brock, and then instantly Eddie Brock knows who Spider-Man is.
I'm sure that Spider-Man will be involved to some degree. I mean, you can't make a Venom movie with that. You'll be foolish to make a Venom movie without Spider-Man. I mean, come on.
It won't feel right. It won't feel right. It'll be just like that digital Harrison Ford walking around looking weird in the next Indiana Jones movie. But
don't call me Junior.
The next topic is, let's move on to we both saw the new Ghostbusters trailer.
Yes,
the all-female cast.
Yeah,
you were surprised at the backlash that it's getting. Of the people.
I was.
Why is it?
Well, okay, so I understand, and me and Chris are about the same age. We grew up as very little kids watching Ghostbusters and Ghostbusters 2. I remember I had Nerf toys, the proto pack guns. You could fire Nerf dart. Anyway, point being, we have a firm nostalgic grip on wanting to see Bill Murray and all these other guys. But the truth is, some of them have died, and other ones are just too old to do it, and some just don't want to do it. So we really do need to get into our head that is just not going to happen. We're just not going to see this other Ghostbuster group again.
Wow.
I had heard rumors a long time ago that it was going to be a women cast. And at first, I'm not going to lie to you, I was like, what? Oh, come on. It's not. They're not ladies. I mean, no offense to the ladies, but that was my initial reaction. But I don't care what anybody says. I saw that trailer. I like Melissa McCarthy, and that part where she's like, the power of pain compels you, and smacking her around. I laughed at that trailer. I don't know. And then when she's all licking the protopad guns and stuff, I don't know.
Oh yeah, that was hot.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna not make my mind up. I'm gonna go watch it, and then I'll have a little discussion about it.
I feel that the problem with that trailer, it's not I feel like the movie's going to be funny. I feel like the movie's going to be good. Hopefully we're not getting a situation where all the best jokes are put in the trailer and then we don't get the best jokes at the theater. So maybe what I should do is I'm probably going to stop watching any more trailers for that until I watch the movie. I'm going to do that. But I'll tell you the problem with that trailer, and this is what everybody is saying.
Tone is off a little bit.
The what?
Go ahead. I'll say what you're saying, and then I'll give a little 2 cents.
What everybody else was saying, and I agreed, because I said the exact same thing the second I finished watching. I had to watch it twice in a row, back to back, to see if I was just going crazy or not. But the problem with that trailer, it might not be the problem with the movie, but the trailer was that, when they announced an all-female cast, they're like, this is a complete departure. This is not going to be the same universe. You're not going to see any cameos, and if they do, they're not going to be, Bill Murray's not going to be Venkman or whatever the situation. It's a complete departure, right? But then when the trailer first begins, it's like, 30 years ago, it started with, these guys, and now we're moving on. I'm like, then it was like confusing. I was like, so wait a minute, is it in the same universe? Is it like they're going to go into the old building and bring back the old proton packs and upgrade them, or is it this a new team? And then the trailer kept going on. It was like, okay, this is new. So I was like, if you really wanted to send the message that we were really rebooting, why remind us of the old one? Because you're just going to get the hardcore fans that love the old one and probably mad at the new one. Their hopes up and thinking, and piss them off, because it didn't make me mad. But it just confused me. It's like, wait a minute, you shouldn't. I feel like they shouldn't have did that 30 years ago part. They should have just went straight to focusing only on this, on the girls, because it makes me feel like Sony doesn't have confidence in their own movie or their own idea. So, but I know moving forward, they're not going to do that anymore. They're not going to say 30 years ago. They're not going to do it again because of the backlash. But they shouldn't have did it at all. I don't know why. They said that they made multiple versions of the trailer and settled on that. They said this is probably financially or marketing wise the best way to go, and I believe it was the wrong decision. I want to know what they threw away, because yeah. I felt like that was wrong. They should have did that, because I felt like because it just confused me. Because I'm a hardcore Ghostbusters fan. I watched the cartoon, I watched the movies, I love Slimer, and the real Ghostbusters, all that. But when I saw that 30 years ago, I was like, then my hopes got up. I'm like, oh wow, we're gonna see Venkman, we're gonna see Dan. And then no, so that pissed me off. So I don't know. What was your thinking on that?
If I would have to side with somebody and say there was something I didn't like about the trailer, I would say that the tone of it was off for me. Like the original ones, yeah, they were funny and they were goofy, but they were also very serious at some points, and you didn't get any sense of seriousness. And like the ghosts are all neon colored and goofy, and Slimer was pretty much the only
thing that looked
goofy.
Yeah.
Everything else was like the librarian. You remember when they're trying to walk up to her and she turns around, she goes.
It was feeling a little Green Lantern-ish.
Right, a little goofy, but
too much animation. Yeah,
we'll see.
Because,
I just hope, because it's supposed to be a little scary. And
I heard that's what people were kind of thrown off on the original. Like the original Ghostbusters made money, but it kind of threw people off, because you had these Saturday Night Live comic geniuses all working together on this ghost movie, and then when they saw the tone of it in the trailers back in the 80s, they were like, wait a second, why does this feel so serious? I thought there was going to be comedy, and it kind of threw people off. And then when they saw the movie, then it blew up, and okay, now we get the message. It was like the trailer couldn't decide whether or not it was going to be more funny. It didn't feel scary at all. I mean,
no.
And the animation of the ghosts looked, at first I was thinking better, but then I'm thinking maybe less was more. because even the 80s ghost, the librarian from the 80s, that ghost looked scary as hell. And it was just all white and the lighting was darker around him. And she looked really scary. But this one was more, like you said, neon colored.
Yeah, it's kind of.
It's like, is it gonna scare me at all? Because
No,
I don't think
that does not scare me. No.
It's not gonna scare me at all. So it's like, okay, they're not gonna go the scary route, which I think is a mistake. You're right.
Do too.
I think the thing that made Ghostbusters 1 and 2 work was the fact that they had, if they would have pulled all the jokes out of Ghostbusters, that would have been a pretty scary movie.
Yeah, that painting of Vigo in the second one.
Yeah, that was crazy. Oh,
his little assistant was funny though. No, don't be touching. You know, like everybody's trying to.
Vigo, I want you to know that everything you're doing is bad. I just want you to know that. I'm like, who is this asshole? He made me laugh that whole movie. And what was the woman's name again that went with Dan Aykroyd, with Bill Murray's character? Ripley. What was her character's name?
Oh, I don't remember the name of her character in the movie, but I know at the end she turned into the
dog.
Yeah, but it was like, are you the gatekeeper or no? Are you the keymaster? I'm the gatekeeper. I think she was the gatekeeper, and the Rick Moranis was the keymaster.
Very sexual, man. And when she got attacked by the ghost, and those dog hands came up and whatnot, that was some scary stuff, man. I mean, like,
do you remember when Bill Murray came into the apartment and she opened the door? She's like, "Are you the gatekeeper?" And he's like, "No." And she just like slams the fucking door. Boom, 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 boom. Are you the gatekeeper? Yes. Yeah. She lets him in.
Yeah, and when she starts growling, he said, because he said, yeah, I'm not a boyfriend. I like her because, we get along and she sleeps above the covers, 4 feet above the covers. So the jokes were more subtle, and it wasn't what people were expecting from a Saturday Night Live crew. But it seems like this one is like, it's like a Saturday Night Live sketch. It feels like a 1 hour and 30 minute Saturday Night Live sketch. But that's not what we got in the original one. We got a really good story that just happened to have Saturday Night Live guys in it. But this one is like, it feels like it's going to be all comedy focused. So I don't know. That's not the formula for Ghostbusters. But maybe it might work. It might be a meh, or it might work. Who knows? But let's see. What's the next one? Netflix. Daredevil. Did you see the trailer? Did you watch the original season?
No, I haven't yet. No. I know.
My face right here. Look at the camera right here. No, you have, because the Punisher is going to be in this season. And
I heard the guy, the one of the bad guys from The Walking Dead is going to be the Punisher. And
he looks I don't know, have you seen the trailers?
I have not.
Tomorrow, if we get a chance, let's do a review. Let's do a reaction. I got to get you to see that.
All right, we'll do it. We'll shoot some reaction videos tomorrow.
I'm not gonna spoil anything or anything. I mean, I've seen the first season. I'm not gonna spoil anything for you. But based on the trailers that I've seen for this upcoming season, the fact that it was low budget, it was story focused. I mean, you had a lot of good action and everything around it. And it blew the Daredevil movie out of the water. I think the first 2-3 episodes knocked the movie, made me totally forget about the movie. And I liked the movie, except for that seesaw scene. Take that out, it was a great movie. But
wait, which movie? The first Daredevil with Jennifer?
You take away that Jennifer and seesaw fight scene, and the rest of the movie works. Man, that was the only thing that threw me off.
We'll have another. I could go on and on about what I didn't like about the Daredevil, but I'm not going to waste you guys' time.
But Trey, if you see this Netflix series, you will totally.
I have the utmost faith in your opinion on this, so I will check it out.
I'm gonna say that this Netflix Daredevil is probably the reason why fans have moved on and forgiven Ben Affleck to become Batman, because we got a better Daredevil now. I'm thinking this is partially to blame the reason why we. You know what? He gave us Argo, so let's just give it to him. He's Batman. But yeah, we're gonna have to do an action reaction to that trailer for Sean. And you also don't watch Supergirl or Flash, right?
I have seen a couple episodes of Supergirl. See, the problem is, guys, is that me and Chris both, we watch a ton of stuff, and so it's hard to watch everything. So we kind of flip-flop back and forth, where one of us is watching a certain shows and vice versa, but it all makes its way around.
We always find our way back in the middle, because what I finish watching, I can suggest to Sean and vice versa, and I'll get caught up. But most of the things that Sean is catching is stuff that I don't even really subscribe to. I mean, are you watching stuff off of like Amazon or off of the Xbox, right?
Xbox.
Yeah, so you're subscribing to shows that I don't even see when they first air on TV.
Right.
I'm DVRing a lot of things now. Now that I have that, but I let a lot of shows go by because I know Sean is watching it. So I'll not watch it until I get his opinion, and he's like, "Oh no, catch up to that show." Then later I'll catch up to. What was the last show that you? Was it Ash?
Oh no, yeah, I watched that. I cannot wait for Ash versus the Evil Dead season 2. I loved that show. I thought he did a fantastic job. He didn't look nearly as old as I thought he would in the show. It was perfect.
And you know what? And the guy that we didn't think that could do it again is doing it again. This is what I love about Netflix. And I'm gonna just put the Supergirl story on pause for a second. They brought back Pee Wee Herman.
Right.
And I can't wait. Have you seen it already? Because
I watched an interview with Paul Rubens, and I watched the trailer. I think the other, like, I don't know, maybe 2-3 weeks ago we were playing Call of Duty, and me, you, and Joe, we had a conversation about the Pee Wee's Big Holiday.
Yeah, I'm thinking it looks like it's going to be okay, but you can tell that it's not a Tim Burton movie.
Well, I was just about to say, a lot of people don't realize that the original was a Tim Burton movie.
I didn't even know that. And the second you said that, it all made sense. How freaky that movie was.
Yeah, his bike.
Marge, it all made sense.
When the crazy clown paramedics are like throwing his bike on the stretcher, and
yeah, Tim Burton.
Tell Marge sent you.
Oh man, don't even do that. But Supergirl will be featuring Flash. Flash from the CW will be crossing over to CBS for an episode. I think it's happening by the season finale of Supergirl this season. So Flash is gonna, I don't know, he's gonna.
Wait, are you saying Flash is gonna be on Supergirl?
Flash will be on Supergirl. Probably the season finale of Supergirl. Go ahead.
We're cutting each other off. I think the real question needs to be is, when is Supergirl going to take her clothes off?
Well, this past episode, she was exposed to the kryptonite.
Sorry, guys. You can't not watch this show and be like, take the cape off. You know, she's a very pretty girl.
You're sitting there the whole time. Take it off.
Take it up. Take it up.
Well, she was exposed to red kryptonite this past episode, so you might want to gotta get a kick out of that.
I'll expose her to something.
But and on that note, the last topic that I had was some show ideas. I wanted to do some new things with new show ideas for this channel, where maybe it's all me hosting or mostly Sean hosting. Me and Sean are working on some ideas. I suggest I still want to keep going with the grade A, B movies thing. Yeah. I think that should be officially like your thing. I was thinking about some movies and whatnot. I've been meaning to talk to you about it, so we need to film some of that. The new show idea that I had was something about a show where we can talk about all the just me and you just talk about rumors and speculations, not cause rumors or anything, but just the rumors and the speculations that's floating around for certain movies like X-Men, Batman, all these movies and whatnot, and just see what we think and what we speculate. What's going to happen in episode 8? Is Rey a Skywalker? Is she a clone of Palpatine or Vader? Things like that. I want to start a show about just talking about all the rumors and whatnot. And I'm going to force Sean to come up with a show about what's your main passion? The fact that the scores and music sucks nowadays, and they were better back in the day, right?
Well, I definitely, a lot of the thematic scores in the movies just don't, because there are there are certain movies, especially really good war movies, where they just the way they use the music, and I don't know if you've ever seen the movie Glory.
Yeah.
There's a scene at the end when they're charging Fort Wagner and Matthew Broderick, and they're in this ditch and they're trying to climb up this hill, and the rebels are firing cannons and muskets down into it. And the dude who was really beat up in the beginning by the drill sergeant, the black guy with the glasses, he was from like.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, he couldn't believe that nobody would treat him like an educated man, and the drill sergeant made him cry and all that. But then at the end, you hear this pounding thematic music, and you see Matthew Broderick get shot down, and he like charges the hill with his muscle. He does this, it just makes you want to jump in your seat and go, yeah.
Oh my God, I'm about to watch that movie.
Yeah, he does like
that scene. I haven't thought about that guy in so long, man. Yeah, how he felt like he was above all the other. I'm not the average, slave or whatever.
Yeah, he was trying to talk to Matthew Broderick at boot camp, and Matthew Broderick just put him in check, and it was like, we're not in Boston right now. I'm your superior officer, and you're not going to talk to me unless this is about. And he's just like, why, Matthew? Like.
I went to Harvard. No.
Right.
You're in the army.
Right.
You're fighting for your freedom, like right now. So
he got his ass kicked, start crying. But then at the end, he's charging up the hill, screaming, "Oh!"
Yeah, he turned into a straight warrior.
Turned into a gangster at the end of that movie. My God. But there are those few movies, man, where the score is just pounding, and you literally are sitting on the edge of your seat, and you just got to rewind, play again. Yeah. That scene was kick-ass. So anyway, yeah, I think we would like to shoot some other things. And even if we shoot the segments just solo, we will also do, because the main thing for us is doing, because me and him love the stuff. So we're going to shoot back, together stuff. But we can also do our own segments or things that maybe one person just knows so much more about or has so much more passion about or whatever.
Yeah, that works for me. All right, guys. Well, that's it for this episode of Talking Through the Medias. And me and Sean, We've been lagging. I mean, we're getting over the the freshman 50. We gained a little bit. Trying to get it off of our love handles, and we're trying to get back in shape on YouTube. So forgive us. Appreciate you not all like dramatically pulling
it's been three or 4 months since we've been on a regular routine, guys, and that's
right. Well, I'm calling it. We're back. This is it. We're back. So
matter of fact, we're gonna shoot tomorrow. So
it's guaranteed. We're not playing about that. So let's keep it going. Anything? What else? Anything you got to say for the folks before we sign off?
Guys, we really like to hear back from you. So if there's something that you want to hear us discuss about and give you, our 2 cents on it, whatever, it doesn't matter what it is. It can be music, media, politics. You'll have to ask Chris about the politics. I don't know shit about that. Anything, just lay it on us. In the meantime, please click subscribe, check it out, leave feedback. And in the meantime, keep watching the movies, playing the games, and shooting noobs.